If you're a Cleveland homeowner and you're wondering why homes aren't moving as fast as they used to, or why nothing is selling right now, this video is going to explain exactly what's going on, why that's the case, and what you need to do if you are looking to sell your home. So stay tuned, let me know what you think, and of course, if you're looking to sell your home in 2026, reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text, whatever it may be. I'll be happy to assist you and give you some insight and see if we'd be a good fit for one another. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you can stay up to date on all things Cleveland. My name is Kip Sweeney with Live in Cleveland, Ohio, powered by Mancuso Homes, eXp Realty, and we get calls from people just like yourself looking to buy or sell in the next 9 or 90 days, and we make sure to help them with a smooth transition from their first house to their next, or from out of state to Cleveland, Ohio, making sure that they have a great transition, a smooth transaction, and that they are happy with their purchase. So if you need help, whether it's buying or selling, make sure to reach out, give me a call or a text, and I'll be happy to help you in any way possible. Let's see if we're the right fit for one another and take it from there. What's going on, guys? So I don't know if how many people have seen my videos in the past, but if you are not new, if you have seen my videos in the past, you would know two things. A, I've been gone for a little bit of time, so sorry about that. If you liked my videos, I hope you did. But secondly, I had some time, quite a bit of time, where I was trying to grow a mustache. It did not work. Luckily, I did not land on any lists, but I just didn't have much luck with it. It just wouldn't continue to grow. So this is what we're gonna work with from now on. But let me know if you're interested in seeing that grow back out. I wanted to grow some crazy little things, but I don't know. It never worked out. Nonetheless, I'm back, gonna be continuing to post, so I appreciate your patience, and anyone that is already current subscribers. If you're not, make sure to hit that bell and subscribe. I would love to bring you into the family, and I hope I can teach you a little bit about Cleveland, the real estate market, and anything else about it. If you need something, always feel free to give me a call or a text, or feel free to give me a follow on Instagram. My tag is @KipSweeney_RE. Go ahead, give me a friendly stalk. If you want, we can do a follow for follow. I don't know if people do that, but nonetheless, you can get a little bit of an idea of my personality there too, to see, hey, if you want to work with me in the future. But I'm here, I'm back. Stay tuned, and I'm going to be posting much more consistently from now on. All right, so what is the reason number one buyers aren't buying? So homes aren't selling for that reason. Buyers aren't buying, right? A few years ago, they would buy because they were nervous about missing out, about missing that home. But now they're not buying because homes are overpriced. Things have to get back. They have to get back down to where they should be, right? At a time, people would spend so much more money spending over ask and throwing so much more cash at these homes because they were scared they were going to lose it. But now buyers are a lot more selective. Hey, if this isn't the right fit for me, my family, we're not gonna force it. And that's what buyers are doing today. The psychology has changed. They're not worried about losing the house. They pause a little bit more. They do a second showing. They compare more listings. They're open to different plans, layouts, different homes, different areas. They're not stuck on one place and one spot any longer. They're a little bit more quicker to walk away. So by no means does it mean that demand is gone, but it just means that buyers are a little more selective. You have to get your home right. You have to have it staged correctly. You have to present it appropriately. Have the correct marketing in order to get your house to sell today. It's not any longer of just putting it on the market and saying, hey, my house is for sale, and then expecting it to go over the weekend, over ask, with 50 showings and multiple offers and fights and over, addendum gaps and all that crazy stuff. That's not happening for the most part anymore. Reason number two, pricing is no longer forgiving. So we kind of spoke about this in the last reason, but buyers aren't going to just buy your house because they need that house and say, hey, I'm cool with the appraisal coming under this offer price, and I'll pay that difference, no worries, right? That's not happening. They are more concerned about price than ever. A, we have higher interest rates right now. B, a lot of first-time home buyers are trying to get into the market, so a lot more selective, but also they're not willing to go over ask as much anymore. They're not, pricing is no longer forgiving, as I was saying. you have to be priced right as a seller. You need to make sure that you have an agent that's going to give you the right CMA, right? The comparable market analysis. So you have to make sure that you are getting the right information to understand where your house is going to be priced and where it should be priced. But as buyers, they are also doing that same homework. That's why, right? We have agents on both sides of transactions, right? So as a good buyer agent, they are also giving the information to their buyers of, hey, saying, look, this house sold for this amount, this house sold for this amount, and this one for this amount. That's where this home should be priced at, but they're pricing it up here. So we're either gonna give a lowball offer or we're just gonna not bother with it, walk away, and check out some other homes. That's what's happening, right? So pricing is very important. Overpricing kills your momentum in the first 14 days. I'll give you a story of my own offer, my own listing, right? And no name's gonna be named, but I had a listing in a very high demand area, right? And granted, it was a childhood home that we were selling, and my analysis came and it was at a certain number. They wanted to sell $40,000 over ask. So I don't get final say. I give the information. I let them know, hey, this is not a good idea. This is what the reports are showing. This is where we should be. This is what's selling in the neighborhood. This is the condition of your home. And this is where, you know, people ARV, the after repair value, those homes are being sold, which is at the number that they wanted to sell at, right? So we ended up going in listing at the price they wanted. Of course, they get the final say. So 40K over where we should be. We do an open house that first weekend, part of marketing. This is what you need to do. And we had 2 people show up. One was a nosy neighbor and one was an actual buyer, right? Because it was a new listing. Hey, let me check it out. Let me see what's going on. The reasonings behind why we priced there was because they were 0.1 acres larger, their plot. They had space that they could, you know, bump the house out if someone came in and had the money to do so. They had a new garage, which in the area, sure, that's nice, but there are new garages everywhere. And number 3 was because the bones were good. Okay, so in that area, the homes are century homes, so they are older. So having a good structure is pretty important. And in that neighborhood, which is again high demand, that is also a strong home for buyers, right? Anyone. But nonetheless, we were overpriced. So in the first 2 weeks, we had 4 showings, 2 from open house, and then 2 showings. The feedback from those showings still did not get them to come down in price. Nonetheless, I kept trying to get them to come down in price. 3 months later, we just separated. Went the other way because A, that's a waste of my time as an agent. If I can't get someone that's going to listen to me as my, professional advice, it's not worth my time. I'm not someone that's going to be chasing deals or money, so that's never my time to try to chase that deal. So no, as a seller, you need to listen, allow yourself to be open-minded. Listen to your agent, whoever you're using. I don't care if you're in Ohio, I don't care if you're in Florida, I don't care if you're in California. I don't care where you are. We all have a very similar experience, knowledge, information, depending on who you're using. So you must trust their ways. Have them give you the paperwork, show you why is it priced at, what are the homes. Get in the car with them, drive around the neighborhood, go see those homes and say, hey, okay, that house is selling for $500. It's a little nicer, newer, updated, but that house over there is like $425, a little bit more in my condition. All right, now I can see why we should be priced at this point. It's much more helpful as a seller to see the homes that are in these reports. Take a walk, take a drive, check them out in person. It's going to give you a lot more insight about where you should be priced, because overpricing will kill your home. It doesn't matter if you drop that price later on. There's so many more other things that we're going to get to that will cause that buyer to still walk. Why did they drop the price? What's wrong with it? What are the issues with the house? Now they're, pushing. They know that they're overpriced, but if they were starting at this price, then they probably won't negotiate because they want top dollar. They drop the price again. What's happening? Why are there no showings? Maybe I can go in and get the best offer. So I'm going to go in as a buyer, lowball you because now it seems like you're desperate, get 3% commission for my agent, not have to pay a dime, and then get a deal. But now you as a seller are getting lowball offers that you don't like, don't want, because buyers see the home, the price drops, and they take that as a different sign. All right, number 3, presentation matters more than ever. Right? Again, so in the past, when the market is incredibly hot, sure, as a seller, you might be able to get away with maybe some older paint or some cracks here and there that weren't taken care of. Not structural, but more so just the shifting cracks, right? The things that are natural, right? Again, if you have I guess I didn't say this yet, but if you have a horizontal crack, that's a no-no. As a buyer, if you're watching this video, get out of there. If you're a seller and you have a horizontal crack, we're going to need to figure that out and take that into consideration when you price the house. So vertical, we're good. Usually that's just shifting, stuff like that. Depending, we don't want to see this either. However, presentation matters more than ever, because if they don't see that there's effort put into the presentation of this home, they don't think as a buyer that you're going to be willing to negotiate. So again, they're not chasing deals either. Most buyers are not chasing homes anymore. So they're not going to just say, hey, let's write an offer and see what happens. I'll, enter negotiations with them. Some are. Some places are, this is just for majority of people. So that's what you need to take into consideration. That's what needs to be thought of. The presentation, the photos, the conditions, making the small repairs matter. And when I say this, it's very, very simple. So the staging, right? The photos should be neat. They should look good. The home should be clean. Go on Zillow as a seller and go look through some houses. Go look at some houses that have junk in them, that have clothes on the ground, that have unmade beds, toilet seats that are up, right? As a buyer, you see that and you're like, looks a little dirty. I don't think I want to walk through that. That's one thing that comes through my mind. It doesn't look attractive. If you're trying to get top dollar, that is not going to do it, because who's going to want to come in and view that house, right? Does it smell? That's another thing. So think of it as a buyer standpoint. For you as sellers, think about it. You can just do that yourself. You can go to Zillow and check that out. You can see what those homes are looking like and how they appear and what you think about it too. Just give it some idea. And then small cosmetic issues. As an agent, we can give you the insight. We can tell you what repairs and what are going to create the most value with the smallest amount of investment, right? The biggest return on your investment. What is that going to be for your house? It's different for everyone, different for areas, blah, blah, blah. And what does that look like for you? And do you want to do that? That's also a part of it. If not, okay, let's price the house accordingly. But we'll give you that insight to make sure that you know what to do. But at the same time, small things are always going to be good, such as cleaning, such as painting, such as fixing up any holes, any not huge holes, you shouldn't have those, but just little nail holes if if you hung pictures and frames and other things of that nature, or furniture, whatever it may be, things of that nature, right? We really want to make it look good. But then of course, paneling. If you have paneling in your basement or anything else, making that look nice too. You go into some of these houses, you look up and you're like, that panel's crooked. Why? And it's just laziness, right? If you want top dollar, make sure you're putting in the effort for top dollar. But buyers do notice that today. So keep that in mind. Reason number 4, buyers are reading between the lines, right? So similar to some of the points, they see a price drop. They see, maybe they're in a rut now and they really need to sell. Let me do a lowball offer. Or they see a price drop as weakness. So that's another thing. You have to keep that in mind, that a price drop is going to either lead to offers you really, really don't want, or maybe a decent offer, but they're going to get everything in the terms and everything they want. Again, days on market. They see this as leverage. So the more days on market, they say, okay, I can lowball them. They've been on the market for 100 days. Let's just throw a number at them and see what we get. Or poor showing feedback, right? As agents, we have multiple buyers. They might see that house as well, and there's going to be feedback from every single buyer. But along with that, that poor feedback trickles out through agents, right? So it's got to be something that you have to keep in mind, because the condition of your home, the price of your home, all of that matters. No longer are buyers just going to sit back and say, and take, think everything for a grain of salt. They are reading between the lines, and they're not asking, okay, is this a good home? They're now asking, why is no one buying this home? Those questions change their perception and how they view your house. What are you going to do to make sure those perceptions aren't taking place? It is not a get it listed and sit back and, hey, I'm going to get an offer. It's a being proactive type of situation, both on the front end and throughout the offer, with a lot of that being, on us as agents to make sure that you can just kind of relax and understand what's happening. We keep you updated, of course, and bring everything to you, but it's a lot of detail and a lot of stuff that some sellers or people that are selling, FSBO don't do, or B, poor agents don't consider. They don't think about it. They just see a money line. Or, number 3, maybe it's just something that a seller doesn't want to do. And hey, if it's that last one, if it's the latter, if it's just not wanting to do it, fine. You just have to understand the repercussion and what you're going to get from that, and be okay with the numbers that are coming through. All right, so what should sellers actually do? What should you guys do? Well, 4 things. You need to price for attention, not for hope. One of the strategies that we saw a lot work very, very well here in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm sure elsewhere throughout the states, was to price at a number that was probably around a little less than its market value. Why? Because people say, wow, this house is priced really great. Of course, the condition, the photos, everything else has already taken care of. So the marketing looks great, price looks great. It's going to attract buyers. Everyone is going to that open house. Everyone knows we need to move fast on this. And it's going to draw and weed out all the competition that does not look like your home. So you already have a leg up against all the competition, maybe other homes in the neighborhood, but B, you have so many buyers coming to you looking to buy your home, and understand so are a lot of other buyers, because now you found those buyers who are looking for your house. They found the house they want, the perfect fit, but now they do have competition. They understand that, hey, we see that this is priced a little bit below the market value. We know that it's gonna go quickly. Now here comes the strong offers. The offers that you're looking for, that you want, and the offers that every single seller wants to receive. 2, win the first 2 weeks. What does this mean? A, obviously following for number 1, pricing appropriately, but number 2 is making sure that you're going to have the right condition, you have the right marketing, you have the open house, you allow your showing schedule to be friendly, to be appropriate, to be a little bit more flexible, to make sure we can get all the buyers through that house, right? And then of course, you're keeping the house clean throughout those first 2 weeks. It is a lot. You have a lot of traction, you have a lot of people coming through. But if we can make sure, if you have kids, if you have a big family, it is a lot. But ensuring that each time there's a showing, that house looks exactly like the photos in those first 2 weeks is going to win you offers. It's going to win you buyers. It's going to bring you strong offers. And it's going to get you the number that you want, if not better. Number 3, remove the friction before listing. Again, all of this is repetitive of what we're saying, right? Making sure that you can take your house, you walk it. From the standpoint of a buyer, you bring people to your house and you say, hey, friends and family, hey, if you're a buyer, if you were going to buy this house, what would you look for? What would you see? What would you think? Getting the outside noise, the outside eyes on your house prior to actually listing to make sure that those tweaks are already made are huge. Now you have people that could be prospective buyers in a playful way, in an acting way. These aren't the right words, but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? So you have these ideas, you have these different perceptions as buyers that are telling you, hey, we would actually see this and we wouldn't, we'd be a little put off by this, or, that pink wall, it's not really for us, even though, kids, we have them, but the pink is just, I don't know, it makes it look kind of odd, or it doesn't fit there, or, hey, the furniture layout of this is just not as inviting. It's not as open. It feels a little bit more closed off. Things of that nature. That layout could be your favorite. But if you have multiple people saying, I don't really like it, it doesn't feel good, it feels cluttered, it feels this or that, don't get offended. Remove that friction. Say, hey, thanks. I appreciate those opinions. I appreciate the advice and just what you're saying. I'm going to make those changes so that every time we have a buyer coming in, they're actually seeing it, they're enjoying it, and we get the best feedback possible. The idea is to get them to look at the house just like the photos look, to come in, view those photos, or see those photos in their mind, see the house, it looks like those photos, and they are happy. We don't want them to see photos, to come into a house, and for it to look different. If it looks different, they start thinking what else is hiding, what's missing. They start looking at the cracks. They start looking at a lot of the details that are going to push them away. Every house has small, minor things, different stuff that, yes, is going to be there, but we don't necessarily want buyers looking at that right away. We want them to envision living in it with that layout, where they would put their furniture, things of that nature, to build that excitement. And by doing so is removing any friction, any things in the house or anything prior to listing that would change that, right? We want them to be happy, to see the house, how the photos see and viewed, and to not start nitpicking every little thing because things started to look different. Number 4, expect negotiation. It is not failure. Negotiation is good. It means you have interested parties. People sometimes just want a deal. Just because they come in and they give you an offer doesn't mean that, that's their one and best. Negotiation is a strong tool, and there's always going to be give and take. Maybe it's different title companies. Maybe it's a little less money. Maybe it's a home warranty. Who knows what that is? Maybe it's a certain amount of days for closing or anything of that nature. Negotiation is good. You have someone there. You have someone ready to buy your house that wants to buy your house. There's just some things that need fitting, and then, we're 99% of getting that puzzle complete. We just need to get those few pieces put into place. So, in essence, the goal isn't to test the market. The goal is to command it. All right, so who is this market good for? Well, the good news is it's good for realistic sellers. This rewards realistic sellers. It's gonna be good for prepared sellers, sellers that value strategy, and sellers that are ready to be positioned appropriately for the condition of the home, for their current home, and for the current market, right? So strategy is always going to be better than luck. An open mind, listening to professional expertise, listening to professional advice is always going to obviously be recommended. Obviously, it's a give and take. That's all still part of a negotiation as well. But being prepared, having clear communication between an agent and seller, critical. Making sure all that friction, again, like we said, is out of the way. If you're a seller that is open-minded, that knows and understands, hey, we need to sell the house, but how are we going to do it for top dollar? And open to suggestions, strategy, and just, again, negotiating the way that house is sold, then you are going to do very well in this market. You will still be able to sell. Houses are selling all the time still. It's not that they aren't. It's just there's more houses that are taking longer to sell and are sitting on the market, and it's going to continue to do so because they're not prepared. They're not ready. They're rushing, or they're just thinking the market is what it is and my house is going to be sold anyway, so I'll just let it be. That's not going to work. If you're a homeowner in Cleveland, outside of Cleveland, in a different state, and you're thinking about selling or considering selling soon or later this year, understanding buyer behavior can save you stress, money, and time more than ever. So you need to ensure that you understand, you get with someone who can give you the right advice to make those changes, to do what you needed to do, and to understand the way buyers are thinking to get your home sold. So if you're thinking about selling, if you're in the area, outside of the area, whatever it may be, give me a call, shoot me a text. I'd be happy to look into it. It's obviously free. If we don't mesh, if we don't fit, that's okay. If you're out of state, I can easily help you find the right agent and refer them to you. Just let me know. But I'd be happy to help you and to make sure that you get your house sold exactly how you want, without all the stress, without sitting on market for too long and getting these lowball offers and just having a pain in the head from dealing with the stress of, hey, is my house going to sell? What are people going to offer? Am I at the right price? Does it look right? So on and so forth, and all of the stuff that we spoke about and what I rambled on about, blah, 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 prior to all this. I hope that you stayed to this point. If you did, I appreciate it. But nonetheless, just make sure that whoever you're connecting with, if it's not me, if it's someone else, I don't care who it is, partially, a little bit, just a little, make sure that they understand the buyer psychology and where the current market is as well, to help you get the proper price for your house. It is very important to make sure that you're not just sitting and getting offers that you don't want. So if you're planning to move in the next few months, in the next year, whatever it is, my contact information is obviously in the description box below. I've also given it to you at the beginning of the video, and I'm going to give it to you right now. So 216-973-3676. Feel free to shoot me a text or give me a call. I'm happy to help you in any way possible. But nonetheless, stay tuned. I'm going to continue to be posting videos for sellers, for buyers, and to help you guys dominate your real estate goals, the market, and understanding what you need to do to get the best deals and to get the most money for your house. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, stay tuned for more videos, check out my playlists for buyers, for sellers, whatever it may be. And also, please, in the comments below, let me know what you want to see different, what worked, what didn't work in this video. I want to make sure that I'm also, taking your feedback, just like home sellers, and adjusting to give you the best videos possible. Stay tuned for the more content in the future. I appreciate you guys staying to the end, and have a great rest of your day, or night, or morning, whatever time you're watching this. See ya.